Jane the Funnel Cake here, and today me and Dad are talking about video games. We're discussing about video games.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but before we get into it, please look and subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you know when it's an upload. It's always important to hit that bell because you get notified when I upload a video. Alright, anyways. Now, video games discussion. So...
Okay. Jaden, thank you for letting me be on the show for Jaden the Funnel Cake. And we're going to post this on the Geek Church. Going to write maybe a little article on it with some of the stuff that we're going to discuss. So, alright. So the Switch came out almost 2 years ago in March. Yeah.
2000 something.
Yeah, I know. And so I've been thinking about some of the Switch games that have been on it, and they have been going through the roof as far as how awesome they are. And so here's the thing I've been thinking about. What can Nintendo possibly do next? They've been a company in a constant state of flux. They've had big successes with the Wii, not so much with the Wii U. The Switch has helped them get on top again, and let's talk about some of the great Switch games. Now, we've never played this game on the Switch, but we have it for the Wii U, Breath of the Wild.
Yes, so we're talking about Breath of the Wild. So Breath of the Wild is on the Wii U and the Switch too, but we just don't have it on the Switch, but we can play it on the Wii U though.
Oh yeah. So, great game?
Yeah, it's a really great game. It's like, it has great graphics to it. And, let's see, what else? Yeah, it's just pretty cool. I do like when you can explore around, just like what I did.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, what can we even say about this game? It's been almost 2 years since it's been out. Most of the critics give it 10 out of 10. Very high praise for this game. But then again, I mean, with the Zelda thing, it's like one of those things that's like, it's Nintendo's probably biggest franchise next to Mario. I mean, everyone wanted this game to come out, and they were really disappointed when it didn't come out for the Wii U, and then it got delayed and delayed again, and then finally they just said, heck with it, we're just going to put it on the Switch, and that pretty much sold the Switch to everybody, because they wanted to play this new Zelda game. And when it came out, people were not disappointed with it, because it was just so great. And I don't think there's anything more that can be said about it. Now, I don't know when the Super Mario Odyssey came out, but we'll talk about that. You've played it, right?
Yeah, I've played it.
Okay.
So check out my gameplay videos of it, because
sweet.
I made a lot.
I didn't know you had those.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think of Super Mario Odyssey so far?
It's really good. So my favorite part is like when they added humans to it. Like they've never done that before.
Oh yeah.
They just the only human they have is like a plumber, like named Mario, and also his brother Luigi. Many other characters, but never had any like types of cities. Like, yeah, but they do have kingdoms that they could be cities, or you might want to call them. But it's got great graphics to it, just like Breath of the Wild. It's kind of like the same thing. But let's see. It's kind of a little bit hard, but it's good. It's really good. I mean, it's
I mean, so this is another game that's getting a lot.
Nobody likes games that are easy, so.
Yeah, none of these games are very easy, but if they were, they probably wouldn't be as popular.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was pretty surprised at how Mario's hat can come off and then possess things. That's something different. That's something I've never seen in any Super Mario game. And
it's kind of like a horror movie.
Yeah, okay, maybe not a horror movie. You're possessing things that are good, good generally. You're possessing some of the bad guys, like the Hammer Bros and the Goombas and all that. And I think that's kind of cool. You just
Mario has a weapon.
Thing. Yeah, he's got some, that hat thing kind of comes in chance, and the way you can work it by kind of flicking like this
that's
really
what I
helps.
did.
So, I'm liking that. Now so let's talk about the newest game that's come out just this month, Smash Ultimate. Right? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Okay, I haven't played it much. For me, I'm not a big fan of the Smash Brothers games. I'm not really big into the fighting game. I'm more into the action adventure kind of puzzle solving type thing. This was kind of like, I just kind of, for me, I've never really liked those. But however, the biggest franchises of Nintendo are always represented there, and Smash is always a bestseller. So it was a guaranteed like, hey, let's just throw this out and make some money off it, and they did. So, what do you think of the game? As you've played it more often than I have.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay. Let's see. Anything new they've added to Smash Ultimate that say wasn't on the previous Wii U version? Because
So basically, Nintendo added this mode called Adventure Mode. It's like spirits.
Mhm.
So you go there, and then there's adventure, and then you can like, yeah, it's like kind of like a story mode game, kind of like Minecraft story mode or something like that. But it's really good. I did try it, and I did like it. But I also like the Smash mode, which was very good. I really liked it. So, yeah. Alright.
Okay, so now we are going to discuss what is next for the Switch, because Nintendo has offered its biggest properties of Smash, Mario, Zelda. There's not really much more that I think they can do. Now, remember when I said that Nintendo kind of goes in these peaks and valleys? It's like, let's see. Oh, you don't even remember these days, but I mean, like, there was the NES system back in the 80s.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that
I
was
think I know the
huge.
NES.
Oh, yeah. And it was huge. And then the Super NES came out, and that was huge.
Yeah.
And then, I don't even, 64. The 64 came out.
Nintendo 64.
That was even big. Then the GameCube came out.
Oh,
and
the
that
GameCube.
wasn't, it kind of suffered, because what happened was, like, Xbox and PlayStation were starting to get really popular, and so eventually they had to mark the GameCube down to, like, a really cheap price, like $97. It was, like, ultra cheap compared to what's out now, and that was back then with those dollars. So that was even considered cheap back then. So, and then basically they had to make the Wii, which was, of course, a major big seller for Nintendo.
Yeah, it's very popular.
And then, of course, the Wii U kind of came.
It's like the best seller.
Yeah, the Wii U was kind of like I was
It's
actually
a massive
thinking.
failure.
Sadly, it kind of was. It didn't sell as well, and the games were not really good. Not having a Zelda game on that also made that really bad. And then now they're back in the game again with the Switch, which has been pretty phenomenal.
Oh, do you know what else they had? They had a 3DS, the 2DS.
Oh yeah, they're portables to things.
2DS XL, new 3DS and new 3DS XL.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you forgot about that, but
Yeah, I know. Those were always. I guess I don't consider that. I mean, I'm talking console-wise, like for your TV.
oh yeah, those were
Yeah.
handheld, but
Okay, so the biggest thing is now, could we make a really even better Zelda game? Could we? And I'm thinking, yeah, there's a few things I'd like to see. There was very little. I had to admit, I was really taken aback by Breath of the Wild, because the exploration aspect was there. That's something that's always been part of the Zelda world. In Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess, you were able to explore this very vast world, and you could even find all these sort of Easter eggs and hidden treasures on this. And it almost seems like they really went with that. The fact that you could find quite a lot of items there, and the fact that you could mix them together and kind of create something new. They probably took that from Skyrim, that game. But there's also elements of just like Korok seeds. There's like over 900 of them in the game.
Seeds.
We will never find them all, okay? I think
it's really hard.
Isaiah's been looking, and we'll never find them all. The shrines in the game, we found all 120. Well, Isaiah did, and he's I don't know. He did that on his own, and I'm pretty amazed.
Isaiah's really ahead of me in a lot of games.
Oh yeah, okay. I had to look at his notes in order to find all the shrines in this. The thing about Zelda games I always loved was the dungeon aspect. The idea that you could go in this place with all these traps and all this stuff there, and monsters and bosses. And it was just basically, they decided not to really do that in the Breath of the Wild game. And I actually think that kind of works against it, because they do have the I can't remember what they call them, these great beasts or whatever, and that they're essentially the dungeons in the game. Now, honestly, some of the shrines have a lot of some of this in there, and they're actually quite extensive, some of these shrines. Some of them are just like, you get an area, you fight this one thing, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you learn this one skill, and then that's it. And but those are kind of the dungeon aspect fighting. I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Zelda game in which they have more of that, where there's definite areas to fight. And I don't know, maybe they could DLC that, but that would be kind of an issue. I'm sure. Okay, it's been 2 years. They've got to be at least have an idea of what they're doing with for another Zelda game, you would think. Because I don't know if they're saving that for the Switch 2, which we haven't heard anything about.
Or a Switch sequel. They're also like making an Xbox 2.
Oh,
and maybe Sony's making PlayStation 5.
Oh, I think they're already in the process
maybe
of
it might
those.
take a while.
Generally, video games have like a 5-year turnaround time. Like if you get one system out, 5 years later, you'll see the next model of it. And they didn't really, I can't remember if it, the big video game convention they have is E3 that takes place in the summer. I don't really remember this being revealed or anything like that, but then again, I haven't really followed that. So Nintendo's probably got at least 3 more years before they realize, hey, we better give fans something new. And with the Switch and how it's made, it's pretty unique form, and I love the fact that you can put the controllers on the side, load them up that way. It just seems like everything was thought of when it came to the Switch, so I'm not really sure what they could do with that. But with Zelda, more dungeons, I want that. I don't know what they could really do as far as like some of the idea of picking up items and using them and stuff like that. Lately I've been playing a new game called Horizon Zero Dawn where you make your own arrows.
Oh, yeah.
And, by branches or in little shards. I suppose there could be more of a crafting element to Zelda if they wanted to make that. That might be a good place to go. And of course, where in the Zelda timeline are we? This is always the big question of like, okay, where are we going to put the story? Where are we going to put the story in there? How can we make the story good enough so it brings in gamers, but at the same time it's still a fun game. So, and with this one, with Breath of the Wild, the world was just so blown up. It was like, I mean, you had the Zora people, you had all those elements that you've seen in other Zelda games. You had Ganon, of course, because you just can't really do one without Ganon, can we? And you had the princess. We got to get her in there somewhere.
Also, do you want to know something?
Sure.
Mojang, the creators of Minecraft, are creating a new Minecraft game, but it's something different to that. It's called Minecraft Dungeons. So, Minecraft Dungeons is a game, or like, it could be you, like, if you could go on solo mode, or you can go on, I guess you can go on multiplayer. But it's a game where you can go on dungeons and fight some bosses. There's a lot of good features to that. It has good graphics. I made a video reacting to that. Go check it out. Maybe go in my React playlist.
Okay, so obviously, if I'm not going to get my Zelda dungeons, maybe I can play with these Minecraft dungeons.
Yeah.
Okay, so that honestly is really the only thing I can say that I could improve with Zelda. It is so good right now. So let's talk Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, come on, Mario has changed so much. You saw the first Super Mario Brothers game, right? With the little
I've heard of it.
Bing. Come on, you played Super Mario Maker and you saw 2D Mario in like a 2D world, bouncing and jumping, and I have to admit, now it wasn't until the 64 where Mario got 3D, and even then, if you look at some of the graphics there, it's blocky. It's
They got Super Mario 64.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that people say that Super Mario 64 is a good game.
Oh, it is. It is quite a good game, but
it's probably like the Wii.
Unfortunately, it's kind of like it hasn't stood the test of time very well. It looks pretty bad now. I mean, you can see where they've got blocky effects and stuff like that. And then you got like Super Mario 3D that we got for the Wii U. That looked pretty good.
3D World, but there's 3D Land on the 3DS, which is what I got.
Oh, okay.
From my friend.
So a lot of those things, I mean, they look pretty good. Mario seems to fit very well in a world that's not necessarily, well, I mean, if you look at the original Super Mario game, it's just blocks and little bricks and all kinds of things. That, however, in Super Mario Odyssey, I mean, he really branches out. He's on the moon, he's in the city, there's actual people.
Yeah, there's humans.
That's kind of crazy. And there's things he can possess. There's a dinosaur, for crying out loud. You can throw your head
I love
on
that
T-Rex.
dinosaur.
I mean, and it
Like
looks
a
like a T-Rex.
A giant T-Rex.
Looks like it's
like
from the
this
Jurassic
big.
Park movies. They're right there. How can you top
Jurassic
this?
World.
I don't know, honestly. If they make a Super Mario Odyssey 2, what could you possibly put in there that hasn't been done before? A lot of these Mario games are... Here's the thing.
Yeah, what if they make a sequel of it?
Oh, come on, they've got to make a sequel of that. I mean, it's just... It's Mario. I mean, he's like Nintendo's face. You think Nintendo, you think Mario. Or
It's
Zelda.
like when they made a sequel to Super Mario Galaxy. There's Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Yeah, I know. Super Mario Galaxy was a step in the right direction. It was more 3D, more worlds. Super Mario Galaxy, as I recall, wasn't really much of a step up. It was, in fact, they even repeated some levels from the first one. They did. It's tough to make deadlines, okay, when you're making video games. Super Mario Odyssey 2, maybe they'll build up the world of New Donk City. Maybe they'll do some more